Hello everyone, how we all doing today? It's an amazing time for another amazing session, right? Um as you all know, we've been talking about some interesting topics around AI agents. How do you build AI agents? How do you understand how AI agents work? What are the things you need to do? How can you familiarize yourself? So that's why we have created this series. It's going to be a whole series where we will all be talking about AI agents. So I want to officially welcome you in for this wonderful session today, right? So, if to be nice, if you can let me know where you are listening in from. I see we have some people connected already. So, can you drop on the chat screen where you are connected from? Where are you watching us from? Right? To be interesting to know that. To be interesting to know that. Where are you watching us from? Yeah, who is going to be the first person to comment so that I can display your name and say, welcome, welcome, welcome to the session for today. Yeah, so I want you to drop on the chat screen where are you joining us from, right? So if you're there, if you're just joining in, yes, we want to welcome you to this wonderful session for today. So I want you to drop on the chat screen where are you joining us from? Who is going to be joining us and where are you joining us from? Nobody is nobody able to comment. I'm not seeing anybody commenting or saying anything. What's going on? Hello guys, what's going on? Let's comment. Someone should drop in the chat. Where are you calling in from? Where are you streaming this session from? Oh, nice, nice. Now I'm getting some feedback. So I got one. My name is Chisomebi, joining from Nigeria. Awesome. So Chisomebi, yeah, welcome to the session for today. Yes, and I also have another one. My name is Onyimafu from Lagos, Nigeria. You're welcome, Onyimafu. It's nice having you on the session for today. So today we are going to be talking about some amazing topic. And here with us is one of our community leaders, one of the MVPs we have in the house. He's been an MVP for a while now, but he's been leading the community for way longer, right? And of course, he's here to tell us how can we build with AI agents, right? So if you all know me, if you all been following with me, you would know that AI agent has been something I've been preaching for a while now. Yes, I see Abiola from Lagos, Nigeria. Thank you for joining in, Abiola. Thank you for joining in. So, if you all know me, you will know I've been preaching about AI agents. So, yes, this is the season of AI agents. So, how can you build applications with GitHub Copilot agent mode? That's what we want to discuss today. And in the house here with us is none other than MVP Imo Etuk. Hello, Imo. How are you doing today?
I'm fine, I promise. Thank
Awesome,
you
awesome,
for
awesome.
having
You
me.
know, yeah, Imo, I think you very much well need to be able to take the accolades. It's not easy to become an MVP one. It's not easy with all the so much work to consistently deliver trainings. Is not easy. So whenever I welcome you and I say welcome MVP Imo, I want you to smile back at me because you should take in the accolade. It's not easy. It's not easy. So
Thank you, promise.
welcome to the session today, Imoetuk,
Thank you
our
very much.
favorite, one of our favorite MVPs in the house and leader of the Azure Nigeria community. He's going to be delivering this session for us. And of course, I'm going to be right here with him, right? Just taking my notes and jotting, because of course, who am I? I too, I want to learn. I want to learn how to build with applications with GitHub Copilot agents. And generally, I just want to know everything that I can about these agents, because trust me, we are in the season of what? AI agents. So let's make good use of this. If you're out there, take your pen, take your paper, or if you're watching on your laptop, ensure you open your notebooks and jot something. Take down the links, and after the session, ensure that you go back to the video. Yes, you go back, subscribe to our YouTube channel, go back to the video, and see if you can pick one or two things that was taught. Sync it up, and if possible, write something about it. If possible, write something about it. Tell us your experience, what you learned, and of course, you can tag us on LinkedIn, right? You can tag us on LinkedIn. So that is one interesting thing that we would love you to do. So for now, without wasting so much time, I would hand over the session to one of our favorite MVPs in the house, Imo Eto.
Okay, thank you, Promise. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. Now, I would like to use this opportunity to welcome the audience. Thank you for joining today. Uh, we look forward to having a very fantastic section based on the topic on the screen. Build application with GitHub Copilot agent mode. As we all know, if you are aware of the just recently concluded build 2025, there's an article that is tied to the age of AI. So I'm going to be putting links to that article that was really trending during the build section. So the article was titled Microsoft Build 2025: The Age of AI Agents and Building the Open Agentic Web. So as we all know, as Promise as rightly said, we are already in the age of AI, so we cannot think twice about it. It is the time for us to start embracing it and also making good use of it, because there's one of the saying that I just bootstrap that will help us to just stay encouraged, which is, if you want to succeed in the age of AI, the key is to learning it. There's nothing you can do about it than start learning it. Start to learn AI. Learn the agent, learn about generative AI, learn about all parts of AI, because they are going to be very useful to us and to you in your professional growth as well. So now, moving further, we would like to look at the agenda we have. By the way, I think I didn't fully introduce the Promise has done some justice. So you all know me. I'm a very familiar face to many of you in the community level. And I do a lot of infrastructure when it comes to infrastructure aspect of the cloud. Even on premises, I have experience with on premises infrastructure as well. So I also have experience with the DevOps. And now we are in the AI age right now. So I did not stop at the on-premises infrastructure management to the cloud infrastructure or to the DevOps, and also jumping into the AI. I'm also learning along in this age of AI. So today we are going to be looking at introduction of GitHub Copilot agent mode. Then we look at some of the learning objectives. Before, as I'm moving, I would like you to also move with me. I'm going to give you the learning part for this particular section. The learning part is right there on the Microsoft Learn. So do well to make good use of it. I believe the right place to learn is to learn directly from the horse's mouth, which is the Microsoft Learn, is your repository for learning, repository of learning, where you can find all the content before you delve into other third-party articles written by other professionals and MVPs across the community around the world. So another part is we are going to look at exploring the power of GitHub Copilot agent mode. Then we look at, we're going to just experiment by just looking at, consider a company called a fictitious firm called ABC Limited. So we are going to look at how ABC Limited fictitious help desk app can be built using a Copilot agent mode. Now we are going to also look at how we can dive into looking at the background and building this application and what it takes to use the Copilot agent mode to build this application. So we dive in. Um, on objectives of the learning is that you, at the end of the day, you should be able to understand how to develop with VS Code IDE using GitHub Copilot agent mode in GitHub Code Spaces. I know a lot of you have heard about GitHub Code Spaces, so you're going to get to see it in action. So we're also going to look at prompt GitHub Copilot agent mode to create an application. We are going to write our prompt. We are going to see how prompt are, how we send our prompt to GitHub agent mode, Copilot agent mode, and it will take action on our behalf. So we are going to also leverage documentation files to instruct GitHub Copilot agent mode. Those are the prompts that I spoke about. So we are going to also see, understand how GitHub Copilot agent mode iterate over a code base to fix errors, refactor code, and also develop new features. So let's dive in more. So now, if you are asked, what do you understand by GitHub Copilot agent mode? So the answer will simply be that, in fact, when you hear of agents, an agent is like your assistant that you have, the assistant you have that can help you. Okay, imagine for instance you want to rent a house, maybe an accommodation somewhere, and of course you need to talk to an agent. What do? You send your agent on an errand to go look for a house for you on your behalf. So you're sending your agent on your behalf. So same thing also happen when we talk about AI agents. We simply just drop a prompt for the AI agent and it will take action on our behalf without us getting involved in most of the things we do. But then there's a caveat that we need to check because AI is without errors. You need to properly check, and also customize whatever you have to suit what you need. So AI agent, Copilot agent mode is the next evolution of AI assisted development. Yeah, you are going to, if you in this age, we are going to experience the next evolution of AI assisted coding with GitHub Copilot agent, and it's best time we start getting ourselves acquainted with this. So we are going to also see it's going to experience some peer programmer, someone you have by your side to work with you or to work for you. So it's going to be it's an autonomous peer programmer. It is also also have the ability to analyze your code base to gather full context about what you are writing. It has the ability to read relevant files, propose, edit, and also runs terminal commands and test your application on your behalf. Another point is that we are going to see agent mode iterate on its own code. Now, this simply means that agent mode has the ability to recognize errors and fix them automatically without you getting involved. You're going to just sit down and you've already put up your prompt out there, and it's just going to take care of it without you coming to do anything about it. So next one is, what is GitHub Copilot agent mode? What do we mean by this? So let's see what we've come out with it. So now, what is it in actual sense now? So agent mode functions as an autonomous peer programmer. So this is the keyword, peer programmer. It takes action on your behalf. It helps you to go before you and then take action. Like I explained before, it represents a major advancement in the age of AI assisted software development. And it's going to, when you compare this particular feature of AI or this particular design of AI to the normal traditional coding assistant that simply provide you an autocomplete style suggestion. Agent mode function as an autonomous programmer in the sense that it helps you and I and other developers out there to quickly accomplish more with less effort and within a stipulated time frame. You don't need to waste time. So this is what agent mode is simply is. So how does it work? So now, how it works is that it helps us to determine the relevant files and dependencies before making any edit. It will tell you, of course, when by the time we get to the demonstration part of the section, you are going to see how it will suggest point to you, and also if it's faces some errors, too much errors that is persistent, agent mode has the ability to pause and ask you if you wanted to edit the code. So it has that functionality. So another point is that it suggests and execute code changes while ensuring they align with the project structure. Of course, we all know that when we are working on project, we need to set up our project file directory structure. We understand how maybe let's say you're developing the full stack application, just as we are going to do today. We are going to have the folder structure for the backend and the front end. Then other infrastructure, like maybe you want to Dockerize your app, Docker file will be there. You want to do maybe a SQL database or Postgres, you have to add the schema, SQL file, and all that. So it will help you to align. It has the ability to create this structure out of the box without you doing anything, just by a simple a prompt that you put on the screen. So now it also have the ability to run terminal command as needed. You can compile your code, install dependencies, and also run tests. Then this helps us to fasten the way we work and how we also interact with our team members. Now you're able to also monitor and refines its output, iterating multiple times to remediate issues and improve accuracy. As you work with times, Copilot agent mode has the ability to monitor what is going on and also iterate multiple times to ensure that accuracy is improved and issues are remediated on time. So I will, to buttress everything, I would say that the Copilot agent mode is here to constantly, in fact, to collaborate with us. And not just collaborating with us, it is here to do the work for us. So the skill we all need now, the skill we need now as engineers or as professionals is prompt engineering skill. So at the end of this section, I'm going to be sharing some useful links where you can refine your skills when it comes to prompt engineering, because your output is determined by your input. The input being your prompt. That's what matters. If you write prompt that is not making sense at all, you're going to get output as something that is not making sense, and you won't be able to achieve your purpose. So if you have questions, feel free to bring it up to the moderation and to promise attention, and it will call my attention to it. So how do you now interact with a GitHub Copilot? So now GitHub Copilot, if you have been using it before now, I have been using it. I've been using GitHub Copilot. So there's an inline suggestions. So what does it do? It helps you to suggest and make some autocomplete to your code. Most time when you add comment in your VS Code, GitHub Copilot will automatically generate a boilerplate for that particular based on the comment that you add. Now also GitHub Copilot also work with a Copilot chat. There's ability that provide you with a dedicated panel where you can ask coding related questions right within your your VS Code, and this one will generate everything for you. Now we also have another ways of interacting with it. We also have the Copilot edit, which I explained earlier. It will allow you to apply changes across multiple files and make it easy for you to implement large scale updates efficiently without having to break down the code. Now we are in the age of what? Agent mode. So these are the ways you can interact with this. Now we are the key one, which is our focus today, is agent mode. So what does agent mode do? So agent mode brings in what is called, it takes automation to the next level. That's the key word that Microsoft CEO used. Taking the automation to the next level by orchestrating development tasks dynamically. Yeah, it does not just refine your output, but also iterate multiple times to ensure accuracy is achieved. It's a powerful collaborator, like I said before. So, what are some of these? I think that we should look at the benefits, because benefits is very important at this point. We understand that with this kind of powerful AI tool, we of course definitely production is going to be increased. Productivity, sorry. So productivity is going to be increased. People have Developers have more time to focus on to achieve their KPIs or their target, or their deliver their project on time, and thereby leading to productivity increased. Now, it also reduce cognitive workload on the side of the developers. You don't need to think too much, and because the AI agent has problem solving skills already built in. It has that ability. So it also improve code quality. Errors are detected. It catch the errors at the early stage and refine it to make sure that the solution is achieved before moving. Now we also have enhanced collaboration. It's very easy now for you and I to collaborate. We can simply just jump on, and before you know, we have achieved what we want to achieve. And then everybody will just relax. So the next one is exploring the power of GitHub Copilot agent mode. Now these are the power. They are very powerful features that the Copilot agent mode has. So now, when you explore, it's about autonomous operation. So Copilot agent mode operates in a more autonomous and dynamic manner compared to those other features of Copilot, GitHub Copilot that we spoke about. It helps you to achieve the desired result or the desired outcome within a stipulated time frame, and very short time frame. It does not even take time. So also multitask steps is also achieved. So it can perform multitask coding tasks. It can help you create apps from scratch, refactor the code across multiple files at the same time, and also can write and run tests at the same time as is doing that. So another one is that tools for task completion. You don't need to do anything, because agent mode has a set of tools to perform specific tasks like editing files and running terminal commands on your behalf. Now, code changes and terminal commands. When Copilot can suggest both code changes and terminal commands for you. If we all understand that how bulky these commands can be. How it could be, you just pack them on your head. But thanks to a coding agent right now, because you're no longer going to be maybe cramming them or trying to crack your brain. Copilot agent mode has the ability to suggest this command for you and to complete the task. It can also help you to install, like when we were going to be running apps, a fictitious app, we're going to be using some of the dependencies, and Copilot agent is going to be the one that we install all those stuff for us. So iteration and self-healing. Now, agent mode iterate independently to achieve the desired outcome, and it fixes issues they come across, any issues as it is generating the code for you, as is building your application, is also fixing everything that comes as errors along the line. So so if you any question, let's see. What am I? Okay, point six, that is wrong animations. So user control and review. With automation built-in features, with the inbuilt automation feature, it does not take your own control as a user. You still have control over it. You can pause and review whatever you want and make correction. It does not, like I mentioned right from the time you started, that AI is very prone to errors. Therefore, always check and confirm whatever the output is, and see how you can make sure that it fits into what you want. Now, management context. Even if autonomous is achieved, you can still explicitly reference context file. So you can use the drag and drop, or you can add files, anything. You can also manage anything you want to manage on your own without having to. Copilot agent mode does not take everything from you. Just before I move on, you have to note that GitHub Copilot agent mode is currently in preview. It is not yet publicly available. So you can also, it also have the power. One of the power is also the ability to undo and redo. So you can also use the undo last command to control and to revert the last edit in case there are errors or there are changes that you were not expecting to happen. So interrupting request. You can also pause or cancel an ongoing request. You have that agent mode is making. If AI agent mode is making that, you can also pause and cancel it. So it also have limitations. Now, limitation which I mentioned before is that it is currently in preview and available in VS Code Insiders. But then I think when it's fully public available, we all will know. But now you can try it out. So that is that for all we have. Jumping down to understand the background of what we are going to be, the fictitious app we are going to be attempting to work on today. The setting is around ABC Limited. Is a fictitious organization, not real organization. You won't Google it, you won't see it. So I assume people who are key in this organization are John Doe, Vic Jones. So the challenge is that, let me bring up something because let me see if I can. I think I have my problem statement for this. I've developed my problem statement. So let me see if I can increase the font size of Notepad. Does it have that feature? Let me see. Okay. So Control plus sign can increase the font. So now, if you look at it, problem statement is that ABC Limited is experiencing delays in responding to customer inquiries, complaints, and service requests due to a fragmented support system. Currently, support requests are received via email, and does serve well, not really, not really. GitHub Copilot agent is not an architecture. It's not like like Kubernetes, that is like an architecture and a microservice architecture in that manner. So I'm not sure. I'm not too sure. Maybe can look up that if they have the same ability. So self-healing in this aspect is that you have the ability. Copilot agent has the ability to achieve the desired outcome by fixing errors or issues that it come across when it's currently working for you. That's the self-healing ability that I refer to in this case. So now, prior to this support request, ABC Limited is assumed to be receiving their support requests via email, phone, and unstructured Excel sheets, making it very hard to track, assign, and then prioritize tasks effectively. So some of the challenges which I compiled them and put here is that no centralized ticketing system to track customer issues. They have lack of visibility into ticket status, ownership, and response time is also being impacted. Then there's a lot of manual process, which of causing longer resolution times and customer dissatisfaction. Then there is no analytics or performance metrics to support efficiency. So Now, the solution is that we're going to see how we can use Copilot agent mode to help ABC Limited to develop a full stack application that has that is named help desk apps to help them in this case. So now, if you the key features is that we can actually the reason why I opted for my Microsoft SQL DB in this case is because I think we're trying to authenticate with my Postgres SQL, but I'm having some issues to fix it. So you can use open source any database; it works for you, depending on what you want. So key features that there's going to be DB in place. There's also going to be user authentication. There's also a main portal, then ticketing, ticket management UI, then reporting and analytics features. Then your tasks, which you are going to work with me, is that you are going to set up a GitHub code space for development, install and configure GitHub Copilot, use Copilot agent mode to generate and refine key app components. Then also instruct your put up a prompt that will instruct the Copilot agent mode to implement all of the functionalities. Then you're going to test and then you can optimize your AI generated code for further improvement. So now some of the technology stack we are going to assume is going to use on the screen, Node.js, and we are using the Express library, React JS, and my SQL and Microsoft SQL Server, then Docker, which is for deployment in case you want to deploy, Dockerize the app and deploy to any environment. Then we are going to use JW based section API stuff there. So hosting, you can use any of the platform, just listing this for listing sex, anything that works for you can work with it. So why do we need to use this? It's to accelerate application development for ABC Limited. It is also to increase productivity by auto-generating boilerplate code so that it will make sure that we are able to implement this app faster. So you use Copilot agent mode to generate and refine key app components and also streamline collaboration between developers and Copilot with focus iterative prompt. Now it encourages best practices by generating modern and structured code basis for us. So now be okay. When a new one, no. So okay, I think I've already responded to that question. So now there are some further learning links which I will share later with in the chat section. Let me share that before so that I don't forget. So you can expect it from the chat. So now I'm going to be switching to the screen where I can share my screen. So this is the announcement made and then everything happening and all that in the during the code the build 2025. So now what the requirement is that you must have GitHub account. You must have signed in, and you must have if you want to do it locally, no problem. You can also achieve that by of course you should have your ID, and if you have your ID, the extension you need is that you need to install GitHub code spaces. You need to I've installed my own. You need to install GitHub Copilot extension. I've installed my own. That is why you see it here. You need to also, these are the two major things. Then GitHub code spaces does not come free. I think it comes with you must have either a pro account, GitHub Pro. I think before you can benefit from it, I'm not too sure. But however, you can just look up for maybe some of those things around that pricing scenario or how to use it. But then I'm not sure it's free. So for you to access GitHub code spaces, you can either go through, but I just prefer to, if you look at this place is here, right here. GitHub code spaces is here. So GitHub code spaces is what for us to even understand what is it. How can you? Why do you need to use it? So GitHub Codespaces is a cloud-based development environment that is hosted by GitHub. It lets you to instantly pre-configure your VS Code-powered dev environment within the web without having to work locally. Although you can also integrate it from local as long as you have the extension. But you can decide to just stay all in the browser and do all your development. So now we're going to github.com/code spaces. So here now I have my code spaces here, my code space environment. So I will need to first and foremost create a repository for this particular fictitious app that we want to develop. I can call it okay. No, it's a ABC Limited. So ABC Limited Index app. Make it to be public, make the repository public because you want to interact with it. So Visual Studio. Use the MIT license. Now let's create it. So one of the things that I've done is that I have my prompt ready. The prompt is actually what will help us to fast track everything that we need to do. So wait, now if you go to, let's get the database also up because we're going to see how you can create. This is my own Microsoft SQL server database. So I have this. I'm going to go to my local system. I have my this thing already. So to start up to work with your GitHub code space, just from here, look at the connector. Then you just create a new one. If you have an existing one, you can also access it. Here now, the repository that I just created from remote GitHub repository is going to show up. I'm going to pick it. And there's also a branch, master branch. Then, there's a server behind it. This is where the costing comes in. You need a storage, you need a release. So I'm going to go with since we are doing some minor development, I'm going to just go with the 2 cores, 8 gig RAM and 32 gig storage. It is okay for testing. Now I have my own repository here. So this place now is right in the cloud in development environment, despite the fact that I am using my local ID. My local ID is just serving as a point of contact to my code spaces. So now in this place now, we're going to quickly just open up to GitHub, to our agent mode. Okay. So we have the GitHub here, right here. So what you need to do is to open a chart. So let me see how this can be enlarged so you can all see. Now, if you look at this place, these are the features I was talking about that time. We have the ask, whereby you ask and it takes action. We have the edit. We have the agent, which is the core focus of this section. So I'm going to switch to agent mode. Now, agent mode has the power, autonomous power that can do the work for me. Now, the models that I can use, there are a lot of models that are available, but I'm going to stick to 4 GPT-4o. That's what we are going to be using here. So now I will be, let me see if I can be placing my prompt screen by side. So I'll be able to just meet up. So I have my prompt here. The first thing is to create a branch because I've already have a master branch. I don't want to work on the master branch. Branching strategy is also very important when you are developing an app. You need to have a branch whereby you work, then create a pull request to be meshed to the master branch or the main branch. So this is my prompt. My prompt is clearly defining what I want the agent to do for me. So I'm just going to, as you can see, this place is empty. Okay, let's have a bigger screen. I'll be going there to copy the prompt, no problem. So now for you to do that, because you must not Copilot agent mode has the ability to detect and tell you that an empty folder. You don't need to put this one has GitHub git ignore and license. It will not work. So you need to create an empty folder. Here I'm going to call it ABC help desk app dev. So I'm not going to call it that like that. So I have an empty folder here. So I'm going to paste my prompt in this. Let me just expand this. My prompt and enter. The mode is agent here. So the agent is going to start working for me. It's okay. It has run. I can run it, but I want the him to take the action for me. So I just need to click on continue. So now it will give me the output. What did it say? Okay, requires this folder. Okay, now I've already highlighted this. This is empty. There is no file here. I'm going to say continue. Let's see what. So I'm going to select that empty folder that is here. So everything will be populated inside here. It seems you don't have, oh, okay. So now please open an empty folder. Okay, let's do something. Let's still select that and refresh again and see. Okay. Sorry, I didn't select that. So it will bootstrap a complete workspace that is empty. It is still under the GitHub code spaces. Now you're saying that a GitHub repository was found in the parent. Do you want to look at what is talking about now? It's giving you everything that you need. Let me just say yes and continue. So it will set up everything for me. Now he's telling me to run this command. If I want to run it myself, this is where that management comes in. I can decide to run it myself. But of course, let Copilot agent mode do everything for us. So by the time it's finished, we should be having our file. It might, what is the time? Oh, 15 minutes left. So these are the other features that I need to take note of. Let's say it's taking too much time. You can pause your run. You can also cancel it by pressing this. But let's allow it to finish. Okay, sorry. It is giving me a prompt. Look at the prompt here. I didn't pay attention to it. It's asking me to proceed. I'll just type yes. White stand for yes. So it will proceed and then bootstrap all those project directory, both backend and front end for us. But some of this feature now is for you to explore. There are other tools. There is also voice. You can speak to it and it will take action on your behalf. So it's working on the front end and we'll CD into them to change directory to those direct folders. So, dependencies for React and Node.js can be heavy at times, but let's just. So it will install the npm Node.js package manager by itself, and it has created the backend for us now. So we have backend and frontend. With backend has the files, then we just have the package.json file in the backend now. Everything is set. So let's go back to our prompt and tell the Copilot agent mode to initialize a Node.js, and also using Express.js, set up the REST API that we will need for our app. So just going to paste this. So it will also install the required dependency for backend. So go ahead. Okay, now it's telling me that we try installing the required dependency for backend because let's say okay, go ahead. Dependency failed. Let's see. It will fix it by itself. So this is the ability that I was talking, the capability of fixing the error, detecting it and fixing it by itself without you doing anything. So now I will also prompt it has prompted to install dependencies and lists the listed one in the updated package.json from file. So that is how it works. Now it's telling us that it has successfully initialized the following. These are the instructions we gave, and it has finally successfully done executed them. These are the node modules that has been bootstrapped there. So now let's go back to the prompt and set up the database, because database is important. I'm just going to copy this. It's going to write database schema and all that. That when we pick that database schema and go to our database, we can create a database and the tables for our app. So it's going to create a file called schema.sql within the backend project directory. This is it. And this schema file is going to contain all the SQL this thing that we need. So this has been created and saved as this. These are the instruction. I added the drop statement because most time when you're creating a database, maybe the tables, there might be some existing ones and you will have issues with that. So I added a prompt to say you should add a drop statement to drop any existing table that will cause conflict in the process of me running, because I'm going to pick that schema file. I'm going to just copy it. So these are the schema file. From here, I will highlight it and go to our database. I will execute a new query to create that database and the tables. The tables we want is the table for users, the ticket table, the comment table, and the ticket status history table. So these are major components of the ABC helpdesk app. So now once I execute this, let's see what could not proceed, start procedure started. Okay. I'm sure. Let's see something now. Let's go to databases. Okay. It didn't create. So I'm going to because there's no database. Okay. Well, let me see what I want to do now. Let me show you what. Okay. I will pass my prompt again. That it should. Let me go to my prompt. It should create a database. You should create these tables under a database named so database. So the default is from me. So now what I'm going to just do is I can run my own database schema that are well defined. This is how this also work for us. So the table, the database is going to be known as ABC helpdesk database. So because it's pertaining to the app. So I'm going to claim my schema and paste the one that has the database name already. And then this one, I will just execute it. So I will have my database created and also the tables for those app components, ticket and all that are here. So now I'm going to proceed to another prompt. We might not be able to finish this, but I'm going to send the prompt across to you all in the chat, or if I don't think it will contain the chat, maybe we'll share it on the WhatsApp group so you can continue the build. So now I'm going to instruct this to create a database connection. It will create a database connection by also installing the MySQL library to connect this. So I will instruct it to create that. So we should be able to test our app. Let's see. Cd into this and create no such file. Okay, what did you say? No such file library. Oh, what did I instruct it? So create a database utility module in Node.js to connect to this using this library. Okay, let's move on first. So implement the authentication, that is user authentication. So the user authentication is going to be implemented under. So it's going to be installed that. Okay, sorry, I'm going to. It's working on it. Okay. Let's finish everything and see if I can make changes to that. Okay. So user authentication has been added to the backend. So everything here under index.html or index.js. So you see the authentication here and everything. So these are the ways you can, some of the ways we can just use the, so I'm going to just quickly update let me add this as a prompt to use this as well. What is the time? 5 minutes left. So let me clear my screen to be able to decongest this command. So it's going to update all the ticket and all that. So you can decide to commit your code to your repository when you are done, then create a pull request to merge it to this thing. Have been added. So RESTful API has been added. So also add the authenticated users and all that to the app. So these are the theme. I can say okay. Now run the backend application. Let's say run the backend. Yes. So let's see. Backend is now running in development mode. Let me know if you need to test it. I will say, okay, test it and provide a local. Ah, I think it's freeze. Okay, I think my system just got freezed. Localhost URL. So let's. So now, if you go to this one, this URL now, oh, it's actually saying not reachable, but couldn't retrieve the exact output from the terminal by default. So you can test the endpoint using like Postman and URL and call. So these are the way you can test
Yeah.
it for. Do you have
No,
questions?
I think the reason why is because you don't have something installed, node something installed. I don't know if you installed it already.
Node package manager is installed already.
So you see here it says
Um,
node mon not found. So
is installed. This
it's
is
trying to go to backend to run npm run dev, but because the node mon or the daemon responsible for the running the application
so,
is not installed. That's why.
but then it's being installed. But let me just reinstall it.
Yeah.
So what's called? Let me say npm fixed npm audit for details of those stuff. Let me see if I can fix those error. Force it to fix it. Okay. So let's try that URL again. Where is that localhost? It's now still not reachable. Well, so but then these are some of the troubleshooting errors that you can get, which if you take your time and check, it can work. But overall, the essence of testing it, doing this was to be able to set up our backend and front end application directory and file structure, and that has been done. So now, if you can choose to develop your app further by adding it, by keep on adding the prompt and ensure that it's finished till it gets to where you deploy the app by adding the Docker Compose file and all that. You can also prompt it to generate the README files for people who wants to take up this file and reuse it. Maybe when I settle in, I will be able to, I will be able to build this app and then send the repository for for all the 10 days to clone it and use it, redeploy it. So that's that
Awesome.
for this section today. If you have any
Awesome.
question, feel free to reach out to me. Thank you, Promise.
Awesome. 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 Thank you so much, Imo. This was an amazing session. I think, trust me, these AI agents are going nowhere. Yes, they are going nowhere. And I feel like we have a lot to do. We have a lot to learn when it comes to AI agents. And I don't know about you, but me in particular, I'm so interested about learning a lot about these things, right? So guys, it was an awesome session. Imo has dropped a lot of links, right? A lot of links have been dropped. So I want you to take the opportunity, go on this page, you know, after the session, try to see if you can go through what Imo has said because the video is going to be stored on our YouTube channel. So you can go back to our YouTube channel, subscribe, right? And then
Okay.
visit all these links.
Promise, let me
And
share the prompt instruction with them,
oh,
with the
okay,
team.
okay.
I think it will contain this chat. Can it contain? Or maybe
I
even
think what you can do is that you can put all of the prompt instructions, and um, we can, when we are writing a review on this session, we can attach it. Probably if you can host it on your GitHub page or somewhere
Okay.
that can show all of these prompt
Yeah.
instructions, and then we can attach it as a link to the video, or maybe later on we can add it as a comment on this video.
Let me do that. Let me do that on this, right on this call. I'm going to just bootstrap it and put it in the README file, then share.
Awesome, 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 awesome. So this is really, really amazing anymore. I feel like AI agents are here to do really, really, really much more. So if you're part of the Azure Nigeria community, and you want to learn more about agents, trust me, this is going to be a series. This is not the end, right? We intend to go back to back on AI Azure agents. Like, we need to really learn how this works, not just as MVPs, but as a community. We want to drive this further so that everyone is aware about what is going on and how they can take advantage of AI agents. So, till we meet again next week, Friday, we are going to be also hosting a session on AI agents. So, don't forget to check our LinkedIn page, go to Meetup, check our page, go to YouTube. We are going to be around, and we are really going to be talking a lot about AI agents.
Okay, so
Right.
just to cut in promise, I pasted the link on the chat. I put it on the GitHub repository. So the link is there containing the prompt
Yes.
instruction for you to instruct the coding agent to build the app for you.
Awesome, awesome. And if you are wondering, just go to github.com/imoweb/abc ltd help desk app. Yes, that's a place to go check for the GitHub prompts. So, like I said, this session is not ending. Like, we are going to continue this series on AI agents, and we would love for you guys to always show up. So next week, Friday, I expect that you tune in, and we are going to be having this wonderful session on AI agents. At this point in time, I'd like to encourage everyone who has not joined our channels on LinkedIn, on YouTube, meet up, go join our channels. Go join our channels. Imo, if you are able to paste the page link on LinkedIn and
Yeah.
the meetup page link, I would really, really appreciate that. So, guys, go to these links, join, subscribe, follow us, and of course, we'll be bringing more awesome content for you, not just on AI agents, but sure, we'll be doing lots of work on AI agents for you. Until we meet again on next week, Friday, I'd like to thank my special guest in the house, MVP Imo Etuk, for taking his the scarce time that is not so much, but he was able to create some time out of his busy schedule for us. I want to say thank you, Imo, for
Thank you for
doing
having me,
this.
Promise. I
Yes,
just
awesome,
posted the LinkedIn this thing. I just
awesome.
posted the LinkedIn. So I'm going to also share this slide. I'll add the slide to the repository. You need the slide so that you're able to follow some of those things as well.
Awesome, awesome. That would be really great. Thank you, MVP more.
You're welcome.
All right, guys. So till we meet again, see you next week Friday. Bye
Okay, bye-bye.
bye.